Hello everyone, it's Theme Park Avenue, I'm Eric, and because many people seem to enjoy my tier list of Universal rides, today I'm doing a tier list for every roller coaster at Cedar Point. Before we begin, I encourage you to subscribe to the channel. At Theme Park Avenue, we do much more than tier lists. We do rankings of rides, we do reviews of parks and roller coasters, we do content both serious and funny. Now, a few things I must clear up here. First of all, we have Wicked Twister, and we have Thrill Dragster, so I will be ranking those because I've been on them. And also, Iron Dragon does not appear to be on here, along with the kiddie coasters. I'll say Iron Dragon would probably be in the boring tier, though I don't dislike the ride. So I guess I should kind of clear up what each tier will mean. Amazing will be among the best coasters in the park, and the roller coasters I think are among the best in the world at that. Great will be exactly what it says, it'll be the great rides. And the good rides will be the really enjoyable ones, but not quite great top priorities when you go to the park. And then boring is going to essentially be okay. So I'm going to rename that average because I don't like the word boring in this case. And then bad will be least enjoyable coasters. Let's begin. First off, we have Maverick. Maverick is going to go straight to amazing. It is definitely among the best coasters in the park. Probably the best launch coaster I've been on besides maybe Velocicoaster and possibly some of the Stratas, but for now we'll leave it here. It has fantastic elements, very intense but not uncomfortable, and it is a masterfully crafted layout. And the tunnel launch is something else. Now we have Gatekeeper. I consider Gatekeeper to be very underrated. Many do not like these wing coasters, but I think this is a very graceful, smooth, and fun ride. It's intense, has great inversions, a long, sprawling layout, and it's a ride I enjoy, and it's one of my favorites at Cedar Point. I won't quite put it in amazing, but it definitely earns great tier. Now for Wicked Twister. I am very sad that Wicked Twister is now gone. That was a ride I enjoyed a lot. I enjoy the launches both forward and backward, and spiraling up and down, that's just so much fun. It's a very enjoyable coaster, and it could be among the best in many other parks, but it's going to go in the good tier. Now we have Gemini, which is one that some consider fantastic, others consider just a family coaster. I lean more toward that family coaster one, though I do still enjoy the ride quite a bit. It has its solid airtime moments, and I do enjoy the sort of hi-fi moments where you slow down, and the racing aspect adds a lot. It's around where I'd have Wicked Twister. I think I probably preferred Wicked Twister honestly, but I will be putting this in good tier. Now for Rougarou, another divisive one. I did not love Rougarou at first, it would have definitely gone in the bad or average tier, but upon rewriting quite a few times, I find that the first half is really smooth, intense, and enjoyable. The second half is where things kinda go downhill. But it's overall a pretty good ride, so I do consider it pretty solid, and it'll go in the good tier. Raptor is next. This B&M invert is among the most intense, with a great layout, and honestly the final helix is probably my favorite part of the ride because of just how many forces it pulls. It's going to go in great tier. It is phenomenal. Definitely a favorite coaster in the park. Not number one per se, but one that deserves a lot of respect, and I think does get a lot of respect. Now for Magnum. Magnum's a tough one. So many would put this right in amazing. I will not be doing that. I just feel like while Magnum does have good airtime, it is not the most enjoyable of airtime. You really do feel quite a bit of pain at the top and bottom of every hill, which I can't say about any other hypercoaster in the world. I get that it is old, but I do feel like better restraints could make this a much more enjoyable ride experience personally. I can understand why a lot of people consider this elite, and I used to think it was among the best at Cedar Point too, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to leave it in the good tier. It is definitely closer to great than the rest of these are, but it's gonna be going in good tier. Cedar Creek Mine Ride is next, and this is a mine ride. It is one of the better ones. I enjoy that it goes over water, and it's pretty fun. Not the fastest of Aero Mine trains, but it is fun and decent, and I will be putting this in average. Valravn comes up now. And many dislike Valravn. I don't get why people don't like dive coasters, but this one is so much fun. I'm definitely going to be putting it in great tier. I think every element is fantastic, and the only issue is the mid-course brake run. I used to like it more before the mid-course brake run really got to me, but I just think the elements are fun, graceful, and this is a very enjoyable ride. It's also definitely not forceless. Steel Vengeance. This is among my favorite roller coasters, period. It's number 2 of well over 250 credits, so it's going to go in amazing tier, that is no question. And I'm sure everybody knows why people like Steel Vengeance, so I'm just going to move on. Millennium Force. This is one that I enjoy almost as much as Steel Vengeance. I find it to be one of the most underrated coasters out there. For being a fun ride with a long sprawling layout, some of the best sustained forces but not painful. Fantastic airtime at certain moments, the best first drop on any roller coaster, period. And I think this ride deserves a lot more respect. It used to get that respect, but not anymore. So I will be easily putting this in amazing tier. And now we have Thrill Dragster. Thrill Dragster is definitely a ride that I wish was able to operate right now. That said, it didn't operate much anyway before that, but it is a fantastic roller coaster. That first launch is one of the best of any roller coaster. And of course, when I say first launch, I mean only launch, as this does not have a lot to it, but it is a quality over quantity thing more than any other roller coaster, because the quality is so high on that launch. The speed is phenomenal, especially in the front row. This goes in the amazing tier. And now we have Corkscrew. And while Corkscrew is certainly better than I remember, I still don't like most of these aero loopers. The corkscrew elements especially are just kind of painful. This one has probably my least favorite vertical loop of them all. And the airtime hill is good, but the rest of it, I will be putting this in bad. It's not a terrible coaster, but compared to everything else at Cedar Point especially, it's bad. And finally we have Blue Streak. Blue Streak is one I think some love. I think it has really good airtime, and it is a solid roller coaster in terms of speed, though it is probably the roughest roller coaster at Cedar Point, because Corkscrew is less rough than it used to be. I enjoy the ride more, but it's gonna go in the average tier. And that is the ranking. So you see my top 4 is everybody's top 4, except for those who like Magnum. And then I have 3 fantastic B&Ms in great tier, that's where I would put them. And the good rides include Wicked Twister, Gemini, Rougarou, and Magnum. Cedar Creek Mine Ride and Blue Streak, I would put Iron Dragon right with those. They're more family oriented but still fun rides. And then Corkscrew is my least favorite, though still not as bad as people say. Now before we go, I will be comparing this to the community rank. Let's see. So this is based on 55, that's a decent number. And it seems Maverick, Steel Vengeance, Millennium Force, okay, respect to the people who are putting Millennium Force in amazing. And then you have all of the ones I put in great, just Thrill Dragster is one spot lower. This is frighteningly similar to my tier list. I would have thought there was some wild disagreement, but that's interesting. The only differences are Dragster being one lower, and Cedar Creek Mine Ride being one lower. But those are easily understandable. Surprised by this, but it's kind of cool to see that the overall consensus is somewhat similar to mine. Well, thank you for watching this tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more theme park content. It may be more tier lists if you enjoy these, and I'll see you next time.